Bullet Train, my movie of the year. Yes, indeed. Quentin Tarantino, eat your heart out. Bullet Train, How to Elevate Action Spectacle by Filmento. We're gonna watch this and talk about Bullet Train because I loved the movie. I just saw it the other day. It's fresh in my mind and I'm excited. Go like and subscribe to Filmento. The action in this movie is top tier 10 out of 10. Absolutely incredible, man. I'm so excited to talk about this.
Bullet Train is a new big-budget action movie from the director of John Wick, where Brad Pitt boards a bullet train in Tokyo on a mission to recover a mysterious briefcase. A mission that isn't very easy because turns out that the train is full of deadly assassins from all over the world who are all after the same things. And when you explain the movie's core premise at face value like that, there's immediately a danger of it becoming just another John Wick action knockoff. You know?
I just want to be very, very clear. And I'm going to state it again. This is the best movie I have seen in the This is the best movie I've seen since Bad Times at the El Royale and Django Unchained. It's in like that. Those are the leagues it's in. Now, a lot of people didn't like Bad Times at the El Royale. They didn't fully get it, dude. They didn't fully understand how genius that movie was. And I feel like a lot of people feel the same way towards this because it's got a 7.1 on IMDb, which is shameful. This movie is 10 out of 10 easily.
There are way too many characters here to properly develop, so they could all very easily become indistinguishable shells that you can't name or even tell apart. The story here is so contained and so done to death already that it could very easily become forgettable noise you won't remember past the credits. The action here could very easily become the same John Wick gun fu action except on a train, which obviously wouldn't be as good because it's not John Wick and there's no Keanu.
It's crazy because, like the guy is saying, there are so many characters, so many individual characters, so many stories all brought together in just one of the most incredible and amazing, like every single character you meet, because of the way that their story is delivered to you, it really just hits to a level that you don't expect. Whenever anything happens to any of them, like you actually care. Now, whether you care because you don't like that guy, you care because you hate this person, you care because you love this person, it's crazy. It's so good, so funny.
Except that, as you may have guessed already, that's
I don't know what that edit was, but that was hilarious.
not the case here. All these would-be negatives have been somehow turned into positives. Now,
True.
Does that mean that Bullet Train overall is a great movie? Does that
Yes.
mean it's better than Prey?
This might be a hot take. I thought the new Prey was rubbish. I thought it was mediocre. I thought the brother of the actress in it, like the brother of the character, was a better actor than the main actress in it. Not that she was bad, but that the guy was way better. I didn't enjoy the movie. I thought it was rubbish. I really, really did not enjoy it.
Through a negative lens last time, for which
And it's from the same director as 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is another one of the top movies that I have seen in the last 20 years. 10 Cloverfield Lane, incredible movie. For the first time I saw it, dude, I went to the cinema not knowing what it was. I'd seen Cloverfield and I loved Cloverfield. Heard there was a 10 Cloverfield Lane, went, hey, let's go to the cinema. Sat down to watch it. And dude, I was so into this movie that the whole world ceased to exist, barring me in the movie. It was incredible beginning to end. Prey, as a follow-up from that director, such a disappointment.
I apologize.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
The answer is, I don't know. It's up to
That accent reminds me of something. I was on TikTok. Don't judge me. I don't use it that often. I opened it up and I can't remember why. But all the videos on my feed, all of them are like, it all involves police. All of them. police and fights, and that's it. It's just fights and police and police and fights and police chases and fights and riots and police and fights. And there was these two guys, these two African guys looked like London, right? And one of them is standing there in his flip-flops. He's got like 1 foot forward, more forward than the other. And he's just standing there in a stance because they're both like about to fight. And this other dude is facing him. And I don't know, you can't really hear what he's saying. He's saying something like, you want something, you got a problem. And the dude in the flip-flops does and says one of the most badass things that I've ever seen in my whole life in real life. He steps his feet out of his flip-flops. 1, 2. And he goes, don't make my heart beat fast. Just to clarify, he said, don't make my heart beat fast. And all I could do, it's one of the you know that this guy practiced this in front of the mirror because no one naturally just goes, don't make my heart beat fast. It was one of the most badass things ever. And the dude opposite the guy in the flip-flops just takes a step back and then just kind of goes to turn, and then the whole thing starts to calm down after that because the dude said it was so much intensity that you were just like, oh my God, what does he mean? Don't make my heart beat fast. Ah, it was so cool. Okay.
You can only find what you search. A negative side here could be that the tone isn't for everyone and that the pacing can be a bit all over the place.
The pacing in this movie was perfection.
Side here could be that the cast list is incredible.
It is.
That is an Avengers level threat.
Dude, the cast, every single actor in this movie was a 10 out of 10. So, I didn't know she was in this. Who did she play? I don't remember her in this. Huh.
You're looking for. But in terms of the premise that I mentioned, Bullet Train is a very positive example to learn from. It takes these core action movie elements that at face value seem very generically basic and then elevates them into something more.
Very true. Very true.
Even though there are tons of new characters here, they're all easily distinguishable. Even though the story here is familiar and on rails, there's some very outside the box aspects about it that set it apart from every other movie. Even though the action here could...
I'm gonna say that if you've never seen Bullet Train and you want to, there's a lot of spoiler content in this video, okay? There's a lot of it. Now, if you're not sure if you want to watch it, you can keep watching this video. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of spoiler level stuff in this. I'm very surprised. There was no spoiler warning in this video, but I guess if you're watching a video about a movie, you've probably watched it. I'm just letting you know.
Just more
We're going to keep watching it because I want to talk about Bullet Train.
John Wick has never and could have never done.
Dude, one of the best things about this movie, right, is Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's character, I heard Anthony Jeselnik, the comedian, talk about this. Not Anthony Jeselnik. Brad Pitt's character in the book, because this was based on a book, and the writer of that book has just written a follow-up book, which is super, super exciting because I really hope they make that into a movie as well. But the thing with all the characters in this is that every character is uniquely themselves and every aspect of them is leaned into. For instance, Brad Pitt's character, his thing is that he's lucky, but not just like a little bit of luck. Every single thing that happens to him is so unbelievably lucky, that you can't believe it, but you see it and you laugh and you want him to live, you want him to survive, so you don't care that it bends the laws of the universe because you love him and you want him to survive everything. It's always addressed as well, which is what makes it even better. Every single thing that, like, for instance, okay, I can do this one. This is a minor spoiler. Hopefully it doesn't spoil too much. At one point, someone throws a knife at him. He goes, ah, and holds up a briefcase to protect himself. The knife bounces off the briefcase straight into the guy's heart who threw the knife. That's the level of luck that this character has in this movie. But you don't care because those are the laws of this story, of this universe, and they stick to them. And the thing that's so exciting about that is that you understand that things can be bent a little bit to fit the universe, to fit the world and the narrative and the story that's being told. So, unlike in normal movies where, here's a good example. In a normal movie, there'll be a good guy, like a Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Keanu Reeves, whatever. And they're running down a hallway or down, like, across a bridge or whatever. And you've got 17,000 bad guys along the edge of this bridge or along the banks of the river where the bridge is. And all of them are firing fully automatic guns at, let's say, Keanu Reeves, who's running down the bridge. Every single one of them. Let's make it more realistic. There are 10 guys with machine guns firing at Keanu Reeves running across a bridge, and not a single bullet hits him. And all you can think is, a bullet should have definitely hit him. I can no longer suspend my disbelief because there's nothing within the universe, nothing within the story's universe that helps me bend my belief. See what I'm saying? Whereas in this movie, it's set up so that you understand that every character has their own thing they are uniquely good at or uniquely have that allows you to suspend disbelief because belief is different in this universe. It's so good, man. I love Brad Pitt. He's so good in this. Oh, dude, let's continue.
So today, let's find out how
Why
Blootrix pulls
has my
that off.
audio died? I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. No, it's my earbuds that have died. Oh, we're safe. We're safe, dude. It's just my earbuds. That's a quick fix. Oh, okay, let's continue.
Here's how to take the most basic action movie cores and elevate them into something more than what they at face value would be.
They were buying it. Oh, I had him.
The way the characters here are elevated with very limited time is with a motivation to make them feel like people and a signature quirk to distinguish them. Take, for example, codename Ladybug, who serves as our anchor into the movie.
Dude, this hat that he's made to wear in this movie is so goddamn funny.
Force the bullet train on a simple work mission to steal a briefcase, which isn't the strongest motivation since, again, he's not our main hero as much as he is our eyes. That motivation soon evolves into him having to solve the murder mystery on board to get blame off his own back, which isn't the strongest either, but is enough to most importantly understand him as a person, why he does what he does.
His motivation is to survive, pretty much.
If I can figure out who the Hornet is, I can give him to Lemon and Tangerine so they don't whack me.
Really?
You see what I did there?
I'm really proud of yourself.
What is very strong with Ladybug though is his quirk, the fact that he seems to have crippling bad luck. All he has to do is exit the train with the case, which he can't do because a nemesis from his past just happens to show up at the door.
It's funny because I wouldn't have said that his quirk was bad luck. He calls it bad luck all the time, but it doesn't seem like that at all.
All he has to do is pretend to have the right case for 60 seconds, which he can't do because he just happens to crack the combination lock.
No one gets greedy.
You would say that's good luck, right? That's good luck that he was able to get the code on one swipe.
That he just happened to
Oh, dude, I love it so much.
At the wrong time.
Mr. Carver.
Bro.
And whether you like the quirk itself tonally or not, it is something specific that helps you identify this character right away. By definition, it's much easier to distinguish Brad Pitt with bad luck than just Brad Pitt.
True.
As another example to build on this, look at Lemon and Tangerine, this pair of stone cold
Lemon and Tangerine are the best duo in terms of characters that I've ever seen, and I want a movie based on just them so badly. They are so good together. The characters, everything about them works so well. I want a movie about them, man.
Their goal is to deliver the son of a Yakuza boss back home along with the case of ransom money, which takes a bad turn when the case goes missing and the son dies. And so now, because the Yakuza boss isn't the nicest kind,
Modern plague, they said.
A what death?
They need to find the case and the killer to at least be able to shift blame, which again makes them seem like humans behaving according to human motivation rather than fictional characters following the script. And as for the quirk, not only are they the most
basically what it sounds like this guy is saying, and I agree, is all the characters are reacting to what's happening around them. In a lot of movies and stories you see these days, you have that really annoying thing of all the characters seem like you know exactly where they're going to be at the end because you know that they're not going to react to anything. A good example would be, oh God, what's a good example? I actually can't think of one off the top of my head. I was going to say John Wick, but I don't think that is a good example. But in a lot of movies, you have character gets motivation at the beginning. Doesn't matter what happens to them throughout the whole movie because they're still going to the end point, which was set out in the beginning. Whereas in this movie, as things evolve and change, the characters in it, who are real characters, that's what they feel like, all change to fit what's happening around them. So rather than, a good example would be, as the guy just said, Lemon and Tangerine are now trying to shift the blame, rather than just trying to, they're just going to fake it all and leave with, it's the same mission, but now we fake it, which would be the character's motivations staying exactly the same, rather than them reacting to the situation and instead they're reacting, and now they've got to find the person, they've got to do this and that. And it's so good because every character reacts to their situation and they change based on what, as the person who made this video was saying, based on their quirk and personality. It's fantastic.
Brothers.
I'm not so sure they're twins.
Stop it. Everyone knows they're twins.
Their personalities are also very strange for professional hitmen. One of them has a hard-on for fruity code names.
Tangerines are sophisticated.
Oh, now he's calling them fruit sophisticated.
Yeah, they cross-hybridize with other fruit.
The other has a hard-on for trains.
Some people are diesels.
Diesels.
And together they argue in public about the most private matters, like the number of people they just killed, which makes them much easier to immediately distinguish than if they were just two generic hitmen.
Yeah.
But perhaps the best example of this is the prince, a spoiled rich girl called the prince because her parents wanted a boy.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Tangerine is kick-ass. He really is. We're going to leave this here because there are so many spoilers in this that I really do feel like if you watch this entire thing and you haven't seen the movie, you will not care about the movie because there have already been a bunch of spoilers, but maybe you can forget about them when it comes time to watch the movie. All I'm going to say is you have to watch Bullet Train. It's up there with 10, well, I mean, it's far beyond 10 Cloverfield Lane in my opinion. For me, it feels like a Tarantino movie, but if I'm being honest, done better. It really does feel that way. The writing is so good, the direction is so good, all the action is great, the humor is hilarious, the backstories are incredible, the characters are fleshed out. The only bad thing about this movie, in my opinion, the only bad thing is some of the CGI is hit or miss. Some of it doesn't look great. You can see the fringes of green screen, a couple of scenes, but if you can overlook that, it really is just 10 out of 10 incredible, man. Bullet Train, go watch it. Fomento, go subscribe. Thank you.